Well, it's just fine though because like now when I go to like your advanced classes, the hardest thing you ever have us do is dance and clap at the same time. Like it is brutal. Like it's like he's like Sean's like, yeah, we're not gonna do any hard moves. We're just gonna clap during it. I'm like, I'm gonna have a bad time. I need to do this, but it's gonna be such a pain.
Polyrhythms, like body's doing one thing, hands are doing something else, and that can break somebody's day, man. Like that that
And,
can
and to clarify for those who aren't familiar, polyrhythms are you doing two different beats at the same time? So like
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then together it's like
Yeah. It's essentially
and
it's like how drummers learn how to drum.
yeah, it's a hard skill to learn. I actually one of my cousins has been doing music for his entire life, and um, basically had exercises combining basically any number you could think of, like 2, 3, 3, 5, 7, 9, crazy.
You know, like that's what's up. That's like, I mean, that's actually the kind of stuff though, like that. Like I would love to like meet him at some point and just like give me your drills, man. Like if dancers approach dance like musicians approach music, I think dancers would actually be like way better than they are now. A lot of the and I think that's the reason a lot of the older generations of street dancers, they were a lot of them were martial artists, a lot of them were musicians, so they like understood movement beyond what they were doing, and they understood the music beyond what they just heard when they were listening to their favorite songs. Like they could like break all that stuff down and bring it back, like you just said, you know, all the different permutations and computations until it's like they were just masters of their body and their mind,
Yeah.
music and the movement. They mastered it. So like you see people in their 50s now, some of these guys from New York and you know some other countries too, they do things that nobody else does. And it's like, man, what there's so many like young dancers that are like very talented. They have a lot of skill, but that that musical thing that you know Brian Green does, or you know like DJG, like one of my teachers, like it looks so simple, but it's not. It's like I can't wrap my head around it. But I could learn that fancy move that that guy's doing. I could learn it if I practiced enough. But the conceptual music stuff, mm, crazy.
Yeah, actually, directly on those lines. When I was in high school doing musical theater for the first time, I didn't know anything about dancing or singing. I used to be tone deaf, better now. um, but I did play instruments. I play guitar and bass, and I knew my rhythms. And there was
Mm.
in the Music Man, there is one song that is 10, 10, 8, 10, 4, or 10, 4. It's 10 beats rather than 4 beats.
Yeah.
And most dancers the we had a choreographer who was also in high school, and she was a great choreographer, but she was only used to dancing and making dances in 4/4. So she didn't even
Most people are
yeah. And
self-included. Like
no, it's the standard beat. And for those who aren't familiar, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or anything like that. Whereas shapoopy, 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 the girl that's hard to get, that's 10. That's 10 right there. So she was trying to write a dance for that part and kept on getting tripped up. Like, why is this not? Why am I on the wrong step? This
she always
doesn't
feels
feel.
lost. Almost.
Yeah. And it's to me, who wasn't a dancer but was a musician, I was confused why she was confused, and she was confused why I was confused,
Right.
and eventually we talked through the confusion. But it's really interesting to see just the different ways that different people from different backgrounds learn effectively the same thing, approach the same thing.